Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
January 10, 10:45 America, New York. Best Buy-owned phone service faces angry customers after 3G network shutdown. Some Jitterbug phone users have been unable to make calls for days.
Daily FX Market News.
January 10, 10:30 America, New York. German DAX faces technical headwinds as critical resistance firms. Global equities have steadied after a strong rally, buoyed by USD weakness. With DAX futures falling from the recent high of 14,894, bullish momentum has subsided prices lower.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
January 10, 10:30 America, New York. Coke, PepsiCo are target of probe by Federal Trade Commission. The agency is investigating potential price discrimination in the U.S. beverage market.
BBC News Business.
January 10, 9:58 America, New York. Wilco customer service staff at risk of redundancy. The 95 staff members at its contact center are in a consultation process, the company says.
BBC News Business.
January 10, 9:34 America, New York. Global recession warning as World Bank cuts economic forecast. The 2023 growth forecast for the global economy is cut to 1.7% as a result of Ukraine war and COVID pandemic.
Global economy.
January 10, 9:30 America, New York. World Bank warns global economy on razor's edge of recession. Officials say worst-case projections in summer 2022 are now their baseline scenario.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
January 10, 9:30 America, New York. World Bank cuts 2023 global growth projection as inflation persists. Price pressures raise the risk of global recession at a time when China and Ukraine inject uncertainty into the world economy.
Daily FX Market News.
January 10, 9:03 America, New York. S&P 500 price outlook. Banks kick off Q4 earnings. Index remains vulnerable. Banks are expected to issue profit warnings for 2023 ahead of their Q4 earnings reports later this week. S&P 500 fails to follow through on bullish momentum.
Global economy.
January 10, 9:01 America, New York. Fed will not become a climate policymaker, Powell says. U.S. Central Bank Chair underscores importance of maintaining focus on inflation and labor market.
New York Times Business.
January 10, 8:55 America, New York. Coinbase lays off another 20% of employees. The cuts at the cryptocurrency exchange come after nearly a fifth of employees were let go in June, as crypto markets teeter and tech companies rethink their growth plans. The downturn in crypto has put pressure on companies like Coinbase, which went public in 2021 and expanded rapidly during the pandemic.
BBC News Business.
January 10, 8:43 America, New York. Britishvolt, takeover talks with Indonesia-linked investment group. The plans for an electric vehicle battery factory in Northumberland have been beset by delays.
New York Times Business. January 10, 8:24 America, New York. SEC finds Steve Easterbrook, McDonald's ex-CEO. The Securities and Exchange Commission fined Steve Easterbrook for lack of disclosure about the circumstances behind his firing in 2019. Steve Easterbrook, the former McDonald's CEO, cannot serve as director of a public company for 5 years.
Global economy.
January 10, 7:33 America, New York. German carmakers signal easing of supply chain woes. BMW and Mercedes enjoy jump in sales at end of last year as supply outlook improves.
Daily FX Market News.
January 10, 7 o'clock America, New York. Gold holds bid before Powell, bulls try channel top. Gold prices remain around 7-month highs on hopes that the vast bulk of U.S. interest rate hikes is now behind us. New York Times Business.
January 10, 6:41 America, New York. Virgin Orbit's failed launch a setback for UK's space industry. When a Virgin Orbit rocket fell short of orbit, it dealt a blow to Britain's space program and the companies whose satellites were lost in the mission. Dan Hart, Virgin Orbit's chief executive, said the launch had been an expensive undertaking.
Digital finance.
January 10, 5:02 America, New York. Automated execution transforming Asian bond markets. APAC buy-sides are trading more types of instruments electronically, leading to deeper automation. The post-automated execution transforming Asian bond markets appeared first on digital finance.
Marginal revolution. January 10, 301 America, New York. Why did the gender wage gap stop narrowing? During the 1980s, the wage gap between white women and white men in the U.S. declined by approximately 1 percentage point per year. In the decades since, the rate of gender wage convergence has stalled to less than 1/3 of its previous value. Marginal revolution. January 10, 104 America, New York. How much did pre-ACA Medicaid expansions matter? This paper examines the impact of Medicaid expansions to parents and childless adults on adult mortality. Specifically, we evaluate the long-run effects of 8 state Medicaid expansions from 1994 through 2005 on all-cause, healthcare amenable, non-healthcare amenable, and HIV-related mortality rates using state-level data.